Hello, Underground Podcast. I'm the co-host, Andrew Suss, or Billy Jenkins is my full name.
Yeah, joined today with Dmitry Sosko, of course, the quote-unquote host, although we're both hosts, I guess.
Well, you're the host, I'm the co-host. It's difficult, but we are joined today by some very special guests. If you would all like to introduce yourselves, one at a time, please. Okay, so we have the Governor Creamy.
Hello, I'm Governor Creamy.
Okay.
Yeah, put us on the spotlight there. It's like, who's going to speak first?
Artyom,
Hello, I'm Artyom. Artyom Slivkov.
Deputy Commander of the, well, no, is it?
Division
Divis-
Commander.
Division
Commander.
Commander of the 327th.
Yes.
And then we also have another 327, which is an actual active service soldier, Sentinel Ryan J. White.
Good
Which
morning,
his name.
afternoon, however your time zone is.
Almost forgot your name then. Well, welcome to the podcast. Glad to have you guys. Probably one of the biggest podcasts we've had. What I love is it goes from 1, 2 to 3 in every podcast. But today we're just gonna go ahead and ask you guys a few questions. Dimitri, would you like to start us off?
Yes, I actually would. I heard that there was an attack just a couple of minutes ago. Was it actually caused by the MSC? I really do
It
wonder.
was. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but yes, it was. It was some 327th members and a couple of 190th members, and me. We went into the hospital and then did a holdout.
And what
After it, there was 9 confirmed CP kills, I believe.
oh damn it. That's-
Creamy, could we also confirm you were offered ice cream by a civil protection officer?
Yes, that did happen. I was offered by a civil protection officer some ice cream. Sadly, he died because he offered me the ice cream, but
Oh.
that happened. Yeah, he tried to come in and give me ice cream, but instead, Mr. Ryan Whitehair blew his head off with an SMG.
So it was
It
Ryan,
was
was it?
natural, he had a pistol in his hand.
I mean,
Oh, it
fair
wasn't
enough.
ice cream. Oh, okay.
Oh, mate, it's probably that fucking lard shit. Probably give you bacon lard. I mean, that's probably good. Second question for Artyom. How do you like it being the division commander for the 327th? What type of experience do you have?
Well, basically, I'm leading everything in January 27. I'm making recruitment. I have recruited nearly every person in January 27. Like, how do I feel about it? That's actually a really good question. It's not really like feeling of power or anything like that. I'm just leading where man has to be.
I mean, sorry for interrupting, but I mean, as you've got like powers like the division commander, you'd obviously feel some sort of like you've got responsibilities, correct?
Yes, indeed. How I already told you, I have to make sure like everyone is active and everyone's doing their job. There's some problems from time to time with activity with in GRE 27, and some people are making it difficult for me. But it's not really hard if you know what you are doing.
Yeah. I mean, I understand, the type of thing coming from, of like leadership and stuff. But yeah, thanks for that. Dimitri?
I got a question for Creamy. How
Yeah.
is your job as governor going on? Is there any hardships, with the group, with the people, with the members, or is it all okay, in your opinion?
Hardships, as in like
Any-
arguments with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with,
so-
like basically like like how like different stuff that gets in your way as being the district governor.
I mean, I don't have any problems with any of the members of the MSC. I try to be civil with them all. And in terms of doing my job, I think it can be stressful at times, but I just have to put my mind to it, and if needed, I get a bit of assistance from the chairman, and then it's pretty good. I can do my job.
Yeah. Creamy, I've got one more question. As
Yeah, sure.
Ajo stepping down of chairman due to reasons we won't discuss for his privacy and his, his type of personal life, what do you think about Chairman Lance? Being the chairman, being the first and the third chairman of the MSC.
Do you mean Chairman McFerrin?
Well,
Or
yeah, like chairman
yeah,
of the MSC.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think he's doing a good job. I mean, he came in, he's got plans, so um, and I'm not trying to bad shame the previous chairman Lance, but before it was like Miss McFerrin had most ideas that he was pushing through to Lance, which now he can do himself without needing to pester Lance over and over again, because there wasn't much happening when Lance was in power of the chairman because of obvious reasons that we shall keep down below. But yeah, he's doing pretty good. I think he's doing a good job.
Yeah,
far
I
as
can
see.
agree with that. 'Cause, I mean, this
Yeah.
chairman Lance, he's very responsible of his job, as I'd say, and I'd say you
Fair
guys
enough.
and I'd say you guys are very good, partners in crime.
Yeah,
So I'll ask.
I wouldn't call it crime. I'd call it more salvation.
I mean, call it what you want, but I mean, there's some sort of stuff that you guys do, but let's not get into that. For
What?
the Sentinel, I'll start off with the questions for the Sentinel. So for Ryan, what do you think? What do you enjoy as being like a fighter for the MSC, and most importantly, the 327th?
I mean, 327 is just like a family now, where people just share things, just fight for the freedom, and
Yeah.
it just works out like that. Because when you actually join a place, you feel like it's your home, your family, people you have to protect.
Yeah, would you say like you so as like a soldier, do you think you have like a lot of responsibilities, or do you think like you're open to do what you want?
I mean, most of the time I'm open to do what I want, but like as a sentinel, I have to guide people what they do wrong, what can be improved, what can help the cause even more.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. Dimitri, would you like to take it away?
Yes. Big question. I've never actually attended one of these, and I wonder how you all guys do it. So, you're the combat team, the 327th, and how's the training procedure for you? Like, what do you do for training?
Very good question.
Most of the time we, just go out and kill CPs for practice, but like the previous holder is actually a test for us that we have to do like each week just to prove ourselves that we're still trustworthy and loyal to MSC.
Fair enough.
Okay, fair enough.
I would like to expand on this for a moment, if I can.
Sure, go ahead.
327 doesn't have any trainings for now. We are not really training our Lancers or Sentinels. If you are a recruit, you are going to be recruited how we are working, mostly on Discord or anything like that. But if you want to prove yourself and if you want to be ready for combat, we are just going to give you weapon, ammunition, and we are going to send you in the field, in the streets. This is our way of training people.
Okay.
So in like your way of training people, you're basically, in a way, you're like teaching them like how a guerrilla fighters would do it. You give them a weapon, you say kill that person, and see how they do, basically.
We are trying to work in group. After all, we are division, so we are not just going to let anyone just go by himself. If we got like at least 2 or 3 lancers, we are just going to take our equipment and we are going to street, to GG alleyway. We are going to practice talking to each other, how is everyone shooting and how we are going to move around checkpoints and stuff.
Yeah.
And
What-
this knowledge is actually pretty useful after we are going some bigger attacks. For example, Nexus raids or city takeovers.
Yeah. With like the Nexus raids, how would you say the last Nexus raid went? I heard you were very disappointed.
I'm not really disappointed in anyone but myself.
But
Uh,
why is that?
I have fucked up. It's how can I tell that?
So you're blaming it as in it's like it's your fault, correct?
It's mostly my fault because I wasn't ready for that situation. I didn't prepare myself good enough. Uh, there are some huge mistakes I made, which I have learned from, and next time we are not going to do same stuff as we did. Um, yes, there was also stuff with the metagaming. Someone has already told OTA we are coming before they actually come, so they had chance to prepare. And
Well,
I,
that wasn't the metagame situation that happened. It was when
That does raise that does
it was
raise
when we were in
questions
the.
for,
There was many of our members. Sorry to interrupt everyone. There
yeah,
was a
it's
load of
fine.
members in the vending machine can base, and an OTA ran straight in and gunned everybody down. Told everyone that they saw him open the door. Caused all of our members to lose loot, which thankfully we were able to refund them all. But yeah, that happened.
So that does raise a question for you, Creamy. What do you think about the situation? I'm pretty sure you've seen the video on the MSC breaking news that was recent about the metabase raid, and apparently how I think it was who was it that shouted? It was someone that got really pissed off and said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" To be honest, I couldn't really blame the guy. I mean, if I got metagamed, I was sitting there and no one knew the information of where I was, and then randomly an OTA team fucking opens an invisible door, I'd be pretty pissed off. I mean, what do you think about it, Creamy?
Well, I mean, I think it was a bit of a shitty situation, as you could probably tell. There was a lot of people that were pissed off. I was annoyed because a lot of our members had just lost a lot of ammo. Like, we didn't get to shoot a lot of CPs before they all had to retreat because of the situation, and then all of them got killed by an OTA member that just ran into the secret wall, opened it up, and killed everybody. I think it's a bit shitty, and I think the division commanders can agree with me that it was quite a bad situation and upsetting, if anything, because a lot of time went into the preparation. From what I could tell, by DC, Lev Stanislav, and Artyom's reaction to the whole thing, there was a lot of preparation that went into it, a lot of plans that they had ready, and it went to shit in the end. And it was
Yeah.
quite annoying that all of the preparation and all of the materials and the ammo and the time spent preparing went to waste.
Yeah. So as your permission, as your permission as a as a administrator for the Impulse server and district governor, what did you think about the guy who metagamed, and do you know who it was?
My impulse. Wait, could you say again?
So as you're a moderator, correct? You're part of the staff team
Yes.
for the Impulse. And as your role, how did you feel about the guy who metagamed, and do you know who specifically it was? You don't have to say if you don't want to.
I caught the person that it was, and my situation on it was that it was a shitty thing to do, because obviously any rule breaking or anything is a bit annoying to deal with, or annoying. But yeah, I caught the person that did it. I had it on clip because I was spectating the OTA flooding the vending machine base as it happened. So he was dealt with, but yeah, it was a bad thing that happened, and it was quite annoying because then we had to sit and postpone reports while we all restored everybody's inventory, which caused more of an issue than it needed to be.
Yeah. Would you say it's more of like, did the person was the person like validly, did the person have a valid punishment, that he deserved?
Well, I mean, yeah, the punishment he received is a valid punishment. He shouldn't have opened the base, so it's his own fault.
Yeah. What's it called? Dimitri, would you like to take it away, the question?
I would like to ask our division commander, and also, of course, the Sentinel, a pretty interesting question about recruits. Like, what is the... Well, you did say a bit about the recruitment process, but how easy it is to recruit someone? Because I have a friend who is willing to join the MSC very soon, and he would be actually
recruitment is in our Discord. It's just few questions about you, who you are, what do you know what do you know about military, and if you were in military, and questions like this. It's nothing difficult. If you are if you are a normal person, you can just do it without any problems. Uh, though, if you are recruit and you want to go to Lancer, so rank up, you will have to do more than just talk. Uh, we are
You have to prove
logging.
yourself.
Yes, we are logging all of our all. Okay, we are trying to log all of our attacks, so we actually can see, for example, Ryan went today the whole down in hospital. He was with Creamy and other members. They killed then many and then many CPs, and we are going to log it. If you are logging this stuff, you can actually prove yourself without actually being with anyone. If you are working in group, it's better. But if you are making logs and showing your activity, you will get promoted very soon. We need more active people, and I'm willing to recruit anyone who is even trying to shoot CP.
All right, that's a nice thing to hear.
Sorry to interrupt, Dimitri, but I do have a very interesting question for all of you.
Yeah, go on.
If you all had one sentence to give to the Combine Empire and the Civil Protection Units, what would it be? So we'll start with Karimi.
Glory to the MSC.
I hope this doesn't. I really hope this. Please be different answers. Be content. Artyom.
Fuck you!
Very valid.
Very
And
concise.
Ryan.
Get back where you came from, I guess. What else can I say? Get back to the grave.
I can't. Back to where you came from. You know what? I'll take it. I'll have it. So Creamy. So specifically, what would you describe the Civil Protection to be as? In like, if you had to describe them to someone who never knew who the Civil Protection was, which is very rare, what would you say to them about the Civil Protection?
Well, they're an oppressive force that will do anything to stop the rebel empire. They're not your friends, so don't think they are. Always keep them at a distance, and don't be a loyalist, because we don't want any loyalists.
So would you call the rebellion an empire? So would you call it a type of? Would you call it an empire, or would you call it a faction?
Well, I mean, we have so many members that are willing to take back the Earth from the Civil Protection and the Combine. So, yeah, I think I'd probably class the rebels as an empire. There's so many of us ready to do what's necessary. So,
I probably agree on it being an empire with all the different type of custom equipment that you have, and the interesting types of builds that you can have, such as like big guns and aircraft carriers and blimps and stuff like that. Stuff like that. Dimitri, would you like to take it away?
Yeah. For the 397th, what is the biggest sort of, not really a raid? Well, actually, yeah, you could call it a raid, where pretty much the entire division gets together and goes into the city to shoot CPs. Like, what's the biggest sort of event that has happened like that, and like, what was the outcome?
Well, I'm thinking right now, because that's not really in 327, but in the MSC as well.
Oh, yeah, that could work too. Yeah.
Dakota Plan, or aka Swordfish, was operation within MSC, just within MSC, when it basically raided the city. We had, like, if I'm sure, like 8 judgment waivers that day.
God.
and we have killed about 100 CPs maybe.
Oh,
Like whole MSC, like 30 rebels, full equipment, went to the city and fuck over the combine. Yeah, I think that was the biggest one. And for 327, I think with cooperation with 190, this failed Nexus raid was one of the biggest.
and you must probably be like all armed to the teeth and have like 3 million guns in your inventory for to actually pull off something like that. Did anyone contribute to the weapons and everything, and like ammo?
This fucking guy.
Who's it?
Ragnar.
I think it was Ragnar.
Yeah, it was not Ragnar.
Lock the door. Lock the door.
But yeah, I'll go block it.
Poor man
fuck
got
did he get
locked
in?
out.
He
How
had a
the fuck-
logbook. He had a logbook.
Cheeky bastard.
Okay, then.
Swear down, if he comes through the back door, bro, on site.
Hold up.
Can you just barricade the doors with something?
I mean, yeah, we could do.
Put there a table or
Okay.
something.
To the people watching this who are part of Impulse, don't do this. This can get you banned.
Yeah, you
But I
hear
mean,
that,
we can make
Ragnar?
an exception.
Okay, fuck, I'm paying this.
Yeah, just.
But yeah, to the people who play on the Impulse server, don't do this because you can get very bad, and the admins will not like you for this. So, I mean, do it if you do it if you want. But
So,
We should
If I
bring him
might-
in to have a not really no public execution would be a bit too far, but content. Anyway, back to where were we?
we were talking about equipment for 327
right.
and military as well. Well, most of our division can actually get equipment just by ourselves, but we had really huge help by MSC government, aka Soviet, who give us like 12k of tokens to actually prepare and make sure everyone has a shit ton of ammunition, weapons, and equipment. So yes, we can do it ourselves.
Who's the MFE?
MSC. Did I say
MFE, the Minister of Finance and Economics.
Oh
Huh?
yes. AKA Boykova.
Yes.
I genuinely thought he was trying to say MSC then, and I had a bit of a mental breakdown. He's like MFE.
Okay, fine. I'm sorry for my pronouncement. So yeah, we can make our equipment and we also get money for it. 119 can make really shit ton of moonshine and make lots of money if they want to. So yeah, we are kinda helping ourselves.
And then there's another question. During those operations, do you have some sort of base setup where you could quickly regroup, like either within the city or at Shell Beach or pretty much anywhere? Like I would imagine that that the entire block district was under, it was contested, of course. CPs, OTAs, so on and so forth. And like, do you have like a safe spot where actually nobody could touch you, so you could take all your weapons out and go into battle again?
Well, we had the base in Shell Beach, 327 barracks, but they were just for regrouping of the group. We weren't counting with anything like offensive from the combine, so we weren't prepared for this. Like I said, I made some mistakes. This might be one of them.
Okay.
We had prepared shop under the Nexus, but that wasn't really safe location for us.
Well, I mean, everything's, a learning experience. There's a mistake here and there, so perhaps the next Nexus raid is going to be a bit more successful.
I really hope so.
I do have one question for Artyom. I've heard you're the chief builder of the new citadel for the MSC. I'm pretty sure it's called MSC North.
I was just bored. I was making some random buildings. And yeah, I'm building something. I really want to see how it's going to end up. But yes, I have been lately doing. After the Nexus raid, I have laid down. I have stopped really shooting CPs every day, and just try to enjoy something else than brutally killing CPs. And yeah, I'm building some stuff.
I guess that's really good. I'm surprised that you're taking away from all the violence against the CPs, and yeah,
Oh,
so
don't
it's
worry,
good.
we will continue soon.
Uh, don't get me wrong, yeah. But I mean, Creamy, would you like to explain to us about like different upcoming builds? Is there any like specific builds that are coming up which are going to be really important?
Well, I guess you'll have to wait and see to find them in the city.
So we can confirm there are special builds coming up.
Well,
correct?
I cannot confirm nor deny that there will be more builds.
Are they going to be outsourced to the MRG, or is it going to be a like head-only thing?
Well, the MRG is our research team, so they are primarily tasked to make us our builds. So if it's made by the MRG, then it's outsourced by the MRG to us, and then we are able to use it, and so are they.
Okay, understandable.
I do have a question for Creamy though. So with
sure.
something like the Nexus or the Citadel, how would you think that would affect if the Rebel Empire were to capture the Citadel or the Nexus, Industrial 17, or the massive Citadel that reigns above the whole world? How would you say that would advance like the rebellion? Would you say that would give a bit of an ego, or would you say the Combine would just push harder and go a lot more harsh?
Well, I think if we were able to take over the Citadel or the Nexus in general, we would be able to open ourselves to many, many, many more guns and much more advanced technology for us to use against the Combine, which would then open us to more to be able to do more and have better weapons and so forth. It would take us less.
Creamy, I think you magically changed outfits then.
That
no,
was
no,
that was
doesn't
Artyom.
Was that the work shift over?
Yeah, must have been Artyom.
But yeah, with the something like the Citadel, I'm pretty sure the amount of equipment and the forces that you could gain from it, like captured OTA soldiers and rebrandished OTA and civil protection, pretty sure you could live with that, couldn't you?
Yeah.
With like the MSC and Rebellion Empire type of like property and stuff, would you say you have enough items to be able to capture something like the Nexus if you used all those items together? So for example, like rebrandished vehicles, tanks, APCs, battleships, airships, naval destroyers, jets, all that type of thing.
Well, maybe. I mean, there's lots of people that are willing to help us in our attack against the Combine, and if we were able to do something like that, it would much further our technology, and we'd be open to much more different, or many more different types of vehicle, weapon, you name it.
Yeah, I'd say that's very valid. Could you confirm or nor deny that vehicles such as jets and tanks and stuff are being made within the MSC?
Well, I think a lot of people have probably seen in Shell Beach, and it's not like it's a quiet thing or a private thing, but I think a lot of people have seen the MSC helicopter flying around or the MSC tank driving around, which we were able to do, thankfully, with our research team. Our research team was gracious enough to grant us these new vehicles for us to use and to expand our technology.
You could also confirm nor deny that you also have some Combine, resources taken over, such as the OTA dropships and some APCs.
At this current time, I don't believe we have a dropship or an APC, but I know we have a tank and a helicopter.
Yeah, thanks.
But you never know. There's more that can be done. There's endless opportunities for us to continue our research, or the MRG to continue with our research.
Yeah, I agree with that. Dimitri, would you like to carry on?
Let me think of a question. how far are we into the podcast already? Have you taken time?
I think we've got like another 10 minutes, and we should be able to move on to the next segment, and then it should be done.
Ah, okay. Let me think about this real quick. Have there actually been any like massive raids on the CP's end where you felt completely hopeless, where you were like, no, that's it, we can't do anything against it? Was there actually such a sort of event happening or going on?
Who was this question for?
This was probably for our division. Or, well,
Oh,
pretty much
Artyom.
anyone. Well, all of you, to be honest.
What was the question again?
The question was, was there actually any sort of CP or OTA attacks that you could not repel at all? And that was completely hopeless.
So basically, was there any attacks that you
Yeah.
got attacked and couldn't repent for?
You are not going to believe this, but we were actually talking about it like a few minutes ago. Our failed Nexus raid.
Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't expecting that, and it was too much for us because there was so many OTA. Just sat waiting for us. They activated the lockdown, so there was no way of us getting to the other box in the bottom of the Nexus. So we had to rather retreat or continue fighting and risk all of our men dying in battle and losing all their equipment and gear.
We have choose to stay. Otherwise, no. We have choose to stay, and that was a mistake.
I mean, you've got to look on the bright side when you think about it. If you didn't get that far, you probably couldn't have got the chance of possibilities, and at least now you know where your mistakes are, and you know how to come back from those mistakes. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So would you also say that the IED attack on the Nexus raid was also a success?
Which one?
Oh, which one? Oh, so how many IEDs attacks were there? There was about 2, wasn't there?
Well, there are many of those. I can't really remember.
So are you talking about the IED attack that was part of the Nexus
I
raid we
shall be
tried to
back
do?
in a second. I need to go do
Oh.
something. Be right back.
Okay.
What's called Dimitri? If you'd like to take it on.
Actually, yeah, about those Nexus raids, I think you could carry on with not the Nexus raids, but I mean the IED attacks. I mean, then let me turn the question this way: has there been a grand attack, like one that had multiple IEDs go off at once? Was it actually is that actually possible?
It was possible, but it wasn't caused by us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened during the holdout with someone named Donald Reagan.
Oh, I've seen that fellow around.
Yes, that crazy man blew up like 4 of IDs in the city.
Jesus Christ.
If I remember, this was before the MSC came back. I helped
City
Donald Reagan collect all these IEDs. There was 42 IEDs that he did with a lot of people over the Nexus.
God. Okay. And did it cause autonomous judgment? Because I've been in the city for, not very long, honestly. Maybe 2 months, 3 months, and I have not yet experienced autonomous judgment. Has it ever even occurred?
The only time autonomous judgment I have been for, the only time I've ever seen an autonomous judgment waiver was back on when we were in City A, and the Combine attacked and the Antlions attacked the Outlands, which caused us all to activate a autonomous judgment and then be moved to I-17 where we are now.
That also does raise another question that goes in. Do you think there'll ever be an autonomous judgment within Industrial 17 before the relocation plan?
I don't know if there would be a AJ midway through. our time at Industrial 17, but I know there will more than likely be one before we move.
Yeah.
Soon. Because it happened last time, and I think the time before when we were in B210. So whenever the Combine decide today's the day we're going to do the massive attack and try and kill us all, or whatever happens, whenever they decide AJ wants to be activated, it will be activated.
Yeah.
Then I have a little bit of a, not really a personal question, but this one's sent in by our MRG lead, and he is very curious to know your opinions on his work and if he's doing as well as you expect him to.
Me?
Well, all of you. Like just
well,
thoughts on our lead researcher currently.
I'm happy with the work that they have outputted so far. Obviously, there's more things for them to be doing, and there's a lot of members that need to be doing things, but that's something that can be taken up on another day. But yeah, the things they've outsourced to us already, or they've shown us already, are very good. I'm pleased with what they've done so far.
What about the division? Do you have like any more ideas or requests for the MRG to make, or do you have any ideas of yourselves that you would like to sort of suggest?
If there is a combined build, there has to be a way how to destroy it, and well, if MRG can give us some more interesting weapons or some builds where we can just survive, I'm all about it.
Point taken.
And also, just about their work, when I saw a helicopter, my reaction was like, holy shit, the hell is that? I was so surprised that it actually works. It's truly something impressive.
Yeah, I must
Good work.
agree. So, Billy, do we have any more questions, or should we move on to the next segment?
I don't have any more questions. I suppose we shall move on to our next side of the podcast, which is the food side of our podcast, which we're going to go ahead and start now. As I did start the last episode food segment. Dimitri, would you like to start it?
Yes. I mean, on this show we talked about rations and different kinds of restaurants, and I'm gonna give a little shout out to my brother, Alexander Slivkov. He sometimes works as a part-time chef down at Shell Beach, and he produces top quality noodles. Of course, I have no idea what he puts in them. Hopefully, it's not Vortigaunt urine or anything of the sort. No, it's.
I would hope
Okay.
not. I would hope
That's
not.
not good for-
It's pretty good. I might actually
whatever,
have
it
to extract
tastes good, yeah.
information. I mean, the taste is a little different from what you get from the plaza. You know,
Bit of a
usual
funky
vendors, but
taste.
not really funky, but it's definitely unique, interesting.
Yeah.
So what about you boys? Do you have any recipes of your own, or maybe some sort of restaurants you would frequently visit?
Come on, Creamy, you've got one. I know you have.
Wait, sorry. Could you repeat that question? I was just.
So do you have any food recipes? And I know you've got one, Creamy.
Well, I've got many food recipes.
And go on. We're here for
No,
another
I
10 minutes.
can't give you my food recipes.
Come on, at least give us one.
No, that would be
Come
that would
on,
be
that's
releasing
part
my
of the
home cooking
segment.
methods.
At least give us a food combination.
A food combination.
Yeah, it's like a good food combination.
A good food combination. What, like one that is unordinary but works well?
I mean, anything really. Anything that tastes good.
I can't really think. When I was younger, I used to. Do you know like ham slices?
Ah, okay.
I used to have ham slices in bread, like a sandwich, but I had jam with it, and it was really nice. I used to have them as a kid.
I thought you were literally just about to say I had ham slices with bread.
No. I used to eat ham and jam sandwiches, and they were really nice. That's
Okay.
probably the only thing I really. I'm a very
Uh,
ordinary person at times, yeah.
Anyone else?
I don't have recipes, but I have something interesting. if you are outside in a mission and you can't really afford to be in city and just take a meat, if you have to eat something, bull squids are pretty nice. They're if you know how to prepare their tentacles, they're pretty tasty.
Jesus, where can you find one even in this city?
Damn, I'm
You
talking about my ham and jam sandwich, and he's talking about bull squid. I think I've been knocked out of the park.
well, you can't be in the city. That's the point. If you are not able to
Oh,
get
I
any
did not mean
food,
to do that.
if you are not near the city and you have to eat something, bull squids are pretty nice. Just don't eat the black head crabs. It's not really, not really a good idea.
Oh yeah, I've heard they taste really nasty. The ordinary ones sort of taste like chicken though.
In a handful, I can't eat the normal head crabs. Don't know why.
Oh, let's
I mean,
not,
a
let's
quick
not
head
bring up
crab.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to
Um. Sorry, you were saying?
you have to get chief for the poison head crabs, so he will actually remove the poison from them.
Okay. What about you, Ryan? You got any food combinations or something you like to shout out?
Well, I don't have anything surprising, but once there was a Vortigand tried to feed me with a head crab leg. It was actually pretty good.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It looked disgusting, but when you actually taste it, it's actually good.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to try it, but I'll take your word.
Yeah, take
Um,
my word. Grab a bite.
I don't really want to. Um, Dimitri, do you have any new combinations that you like to share?
No, not really. But I was just about to ask you, do you have anything that you've, had something good recently?
I have had a nice loaf of bread. It's kind of tastes a bit like it's got like the fluffiness of a croissant, if you know what a croissant is.
Oh yeah, it's one of those French people.
Yeah,
things.
it's like a French like little like it's in the sort of way of bread, but it's like you have it at breakfast, you have it at lunch. It's like a little side, like little fluffy, like little bread thing.
So you've been eating just bread, right?
I've had bread and I've also had some very good noodles with some nice seasoning on it. It's like the little chicken fibre
Oh
seasoning.
yeah.
Yeah, that's been very good. So, for our guests, do you have any restaurants you'd like to shout out? Here we go with Larson's restaurant. I already know Larson's gonna have his restaurant shouted out. So
Yes, I got one. From time to time, there is a secret hidden restaurant near Yellow Warehouse, the Shell Beach.
okay,
It's really rare if you find it, but if you find so, they have brilliant food and nice prices. So yeah, it's called Cast Pub, if I remember. Yeah.
okay. Creamy, what about you?
Sorry, I got distracted again. I was doing something. Should just repeat the question.
So do you have any restaurants you'd like to shout out?
Restaurants.
Yeah, like good food places.
The McFerrin Grill is quite a good.
Here we
Yeah.
I called it. I called it.
The McFerrin Grill is quite a good one.
No, I must agree. It is brilliant.
Yeah.
What about
And
you?
They give all MSC members a slight discount.
Yeah, we get it. Yeah, we get it. Lawson's good at making food. Ryan, what about you?
I don't have any favorite restaurants, but the two that were told actually are pretty good that I tried last week.
Okay. Dimitri, what about you?
Well, yeah. All I can shout out is my brother currently, who made those, special noodles he makes. Like I said, from time to time he's set up his operations at Shell Beach, and gives us the MSC as well as other rebels the sustenance they need.
Before we end the podcast, I'd like to thank our guests, Governor Creamy, Division Commander Artyom, and Sentinel Ryan J. White for coming on the podcast. So I'd also like to thank our great host, who makes sure to make some very good podcast videos, and I'd like to thank Dimitri for being a very excellent host. So other than that, thanks for watching our today's podcast, and we hope to see you actually, we hope to see you tomorrow for another podcast. And yeah, take it easy, guys.